Okay, we're going to look at two compounds today in this video and how to draw them and name them. So we have alcohols and aldehydes. So just looking at alcohols first. The alcohols have to contain the functional group OH. So an oxygen and a hydrogen connected together. And this is usually a branch off one of our alkanes. So when we're naming it, we'll still keep our meth, eth, prop, bute naming system, which I'll just write on the side here. Okay, and that relates to our carbon chain, the longest chain of carbons. That is our numbering system. So meth links with 1 carbon, eth links with 2 carbon, prop links with 3, and so on. Now we have 3 different types of alcohols. We have a primary alcohol, a secondary alcohol, and a tertiary alcohol. Now the difference between them is if we have an alkane, let's say 2 C's, and one of our side branches is an alcohol, if you see the alcohol section is connected to a carbon, that carbon is connected to a hydrogen, and then also an alkyl side group, which is our methyl side group there. So the secondary alcohols that I'll draw in now, the alcohol side group is connected to a carbon, which is connected to a hydrogen, and then 2 alkyl side groups like that, either side. Now the tertiary one is a carbon with an OH connected to this, and you can see now that it's taken up with 3 alkyl side groups, and that can be quickly written as an alkyl, which is connected to a carbon and an OH with another 2 H's like that. And then you're just more so saturating slowly your functional alcohol side group with these alkyl side groups around it, each time adding another one. Okay, so there are 3 different types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. So now with naming this, you're going to first of all look at the functional side group, and you can see that it's an OH, so it is going to be an alcohol. When we're naming it, the ending of our naming system is OL. So again, you're just going to take a look at how many carbons are in the actual chain, and you're going to number it, giving the functional group the smallest number. Okay, so it's going to be going from right to left. So how many carbons do we have? We have 4, which links with bute. So the name is going to be butane. And I also just want to show which carbon the functional alcohol group is on. So it's going to be 2-butanol. Now I want you to take a second to tell me if it's a primary, secondary, or tertiary type of alcohol. So if you look at the carbon that's connected to, that carbon is connected to 1 hydrogen and 2 alkyl side groups. So it's going to be a secondary alcohol. Okay, so now we're going to look at naming this one. So if you want to try and name it yourself, you can pause here. Again, we're going to look out for the functional group. So it is the OH, so it's definitely an alcohol. We're going to number the carbons then, giving the OH functional group the smallest number. We're going to also look out now if there's any side groups, which there are. There is 1 carbon, so it's a methyl side group. So first step is to count the number of C's there, the carbons, and we can see that it links with 5 carbons. So we're going to look at pent. And it's an alcohol, so it's going to end with pentanol. Now, we want to show what carbon the alcohol is on, so it's going to be 2-pentanol. We must also talk about the methyl side group, so it's going to be 4-methyl-2-pentanol. Okay, now we're going to look at our aldehydes. So, unlike our alcohol, it's not a straight OH group. We contain a carbonyl group here, which links with the C double bond O, and we have a H. So this is going to be always at the end of our molecule. It's never going to be in the middle of it. It's going to be at the end of our molecule. So I'm going to quickly draw one. Okay, so again, you're going to look at the molecule, figure out what's your functional group. So it's an aldehyde. It's going to end with Al this time, so al. So there's no need to number or tell us which carbon it's on because it's always going to be at the very end of the molecule. So count the number of C's, number of carbons on the long chain. So there's 5 of them. So this is going to be called pent and al, pentanol. So here we have another aldehyde. So you're looking again at the functional group, and it is towards the end. But this time we also have 2 side groups, which are 2 methyl side groups. So with the naming, we need to start with the side of the functional group. So this is going to be the first carbon. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now again, we don't need to put into the name where the aldehyde side group is because it's just taken for granted that it's at the end of the molecule. So we've got 5 of them. So we're going to go for pent. And because it's an aldehyde, we're going to end on with AN-Al, so pentanol. Now we have 2 side groups, both methyl side groups, and it's on carbon 3. So it's going to be 3, 3, dash. We have 2 of them, so it's going to be di-methyl pentanol. Okay, and that's how you name alcohols and aldehydes.